I am an esthetician and makeup artist here in Las Vegas. I have a little store called Into the Looking Glass. Some of you know me. For the ones that don't, hi, welcome, all of that. I hope this is going to help you today. Today we're talking about contouring. I put a little bit of foundation on and did my eyes a little bit, but we're going to go into contouring and what all of that does. I am going, actually this week is my 9th year anniversary. Technically I say it's in May because I got my keys 9 years ago today, but I officially opened to the public the 1st of May because we had like a lot of painting and everything like that to do in here. So you can see some of the wigs and stuff up here, and I keep these little skulls out all year round. They're like the monkey see, monkey do, with the hands and everything. But anyway, hello Michelle, it's great to see you. So I'm gonna go in and let me see if I can do this lighting just a tad better. Let's see. Let me change it over to this way just a little. There. I have the sun coming in also, so let's see what kind of other lighting this has. Yeah, this is pretty raw lighting. Let's see, let's try that again. Maybe I can do it up like that. I don't know, that's still too dark. Let's do it like this. There. That's better. It kind of balances out a little bit. Anyway, so we're going to go in and talk about contouring. And as I said, this is pretty raw. Let me scoot up a little bit, get out of the sunlight. So it's very important to have the correct tools, because what is contouring? Contouring is basically creating shadows. It's helping reshape your face. And if you are a crossdresser, trans, whatever you want to call it today, we do have characteristics of male in us, no matter how much stuff we have done. So just like a female, a lot of this is camouflaging. It's also reshaping our face and bringing out features and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to start off with this big palette I have. And it has all the browns and stuff like that in it. So when you go to do, a lot of the trend right now is to do your eyes up heavy and then not do anything with your cheeks. Trends come and go. So this has kind of been the thing that's been around a long time. Hello, is that Corla? Hello. We're all excuse me, I think we're all basically biological males here. Even though some of us may be trans, we were still born biological males. So anyway, we're going to start in with this. So if you do the shadow that can help push in your cheeks and pull all of this forward, and that comes with highlighting, but we're just talking contouring right now, that's going to hollow out your cheeks. If you do too much earth tone, meaning all the browns that I'm seeing a lot of you girls doing out there, it ages you. You're going to want to put some color in all of that. Also, brown isn't just a contour color. You can also use certain colors like, trying to think, and like I said, this is all off the hoof what I'm doing. You can use like a burgundy for a contour color, and that also gives you color. So it does a little bit of both. I like to do the 2 to 3 layer, and it gives it a little more depth. And what that is it's like 3 different shades or 2 different shades. So if you do your cheek going down, it's going to make your face longer looking. If you do your cheek coming across, it's going to make your face wider looking. If you do, and you don't have a lot of cheek like in here like I do, if you're more hollowed out through there, and you do like this, what I call a share C cup, that can make you look a little more theatrical if you have those hollowed out cheeks. So I'm just letting that know ahead of time. Now, there's a couple of ways to contour on your cheeks. So one way is, I dropped my brush. One way to do this is just start out with like a little brush like this or a little brush like that, because the secret is in blending. I'm going to dip in to burgundy, kind of shake it. Now, if you have problems doing a straight line, you can hold something like this up. So the contour actually should be going right underneath your cheek. Now, as we get older, you can bring that up a little because sometimes that drags our face down a little bit. So you can bring it up a little higher, kind of like if you look at the old-fashioned Bette Midler. But then you're going to get a lot of blush up through here. Some people like that. I don't necessarily like that. So I forgot to get a mirror. So I'm going to be doing this up probably a little higher. Can you see that? It just starts off with a line like that. I'm going back, and as I said, I don't have a mirror here. I'm actually doing this in the camera. So I'm going back and I'm blending that. And I'm going to dip into that a little more. I'm going to go through here. This isn't as dark as what I would do to go on stage. So what this does by contour, and there's two ways. This is a powder contour. I'm sorry to jump ahead of myself. This is a powder contour versus a cream contour, and I'll talk about the cream contour soon. But I feel I like this, and this is easy. And once again, it depends on your skin. If you have a lot of wrinkles and stuff, you might want to go to more of a cream. So I'm doing this. Then I'm going to dip in just a little bit. I have another big palette here. And I'm going to dip into the pink. That's right there. And I'm going on top of that. You'll probably see that more because it's so bright. I'm going to shake it down. Shake it like that. Wipe it a little. And I go right on top, above the contour and right on top of it. And this is pretty bright. So a powder is always going to tone everything down. So that's the way you do a little bit of contour. Now what I'm going to do is contour my jawline, and I'm going to dip into a little bit of that burgundy, a little bit of that pink, because it's kind of like floral design. You want it all going together. So I'm going to go underneath my jawline, not on top of it. You're seeing a lot of people doing that on top, and it looks really strange. You go underneath the jawline. And what this does is separate your neck and your face. It also can help reshape your jawline to make it look more oval or round. And then you just pull it down like that. And if you feel like it's too bright, you can always, or too dark, always go back and powder over it a little. And then you can go in and highlight in there. I've already kind of done that for daytime. Let's see what everyone's saying. So, okay. So if you don't like to wear bangs, you don't like to wear them, so you still need the contour, and you're going to start, I start in the middle, and I bring it down. Let's do this a little more. And I do it like in a half moon. I can even bring it down a little bit through here. And I should have got a mirror so I could actually see this better. But I think you can see that a little bit right in there. And do the same thing you did in there. You can put a little pink if you want in there. And what this does, it contours your forehead, because female foreheads are not flat. They're more rounded. I knew back in the old days that girls would get a little silicone through there to round out their foreheads. That is so dangerous. Don't do that. I know a lot of girls that ended up with a lot of problems. By doing this also, if you wear wigs, it will tone, a wig will tone it all down, but it will also round out your forehead a little more and help with a hairline, so it's not just harsh. Personally, I prefer bangs. I always have. I think it's a little more softening, just like I think a wave or a curl is a little more softening also, but we all get in our moods. So you just go back and forth, blending. And as I said, this is very simple. You can always powder over it if you feel like it's going to be too much. So let's do the nose now. I'm sorry, seemed like I got a horse frog in my throat. Don't you hate that? Now, if you have problems doing your nose, you can hold something like this up. It's just a straight edge. So you're going to go down. And I'm overdoing this so you can actually see it. Let's see. Let's try this lighting again. Maybe I can go brighter with it. No. Anyway, so you see that line coming straight down? And then you do the other side. So you can make this as thin in here, because some of them are making it look like they have no nostrils or no nose anymore. But technically, it should be start right at your eyebrow and go down. Now, if you want to make your nose shorter, you can go underneath. You can do a line straight across. If you want to bubble it off, you can like do a line over like this and then highlight all of that through there. Then use your finger or your brush. I'm always using my finger, but you're going to go down and then you're going to brush it down. And then you're going to go back and slightly powder over all of this so you can see. I'm trying to overdo a little bit of this so you can see it. And like I said, this isn't for stage or anything like this. This is just like the basic, very basic stuff. So I'm going to dip in. And you can see where, and as I said, I'm doing this really super dark, where it's going to shorten your nose a little. The whole point of contouring is to reshape your face, reshape your nose, however you want it. I'll go. And you can see that toned it all down when you powdered over it. So that's just basic, simple, little contouring. It can kind of go from there. You can get really crazy with it if you want to get crazy with it. But the whole point is a shadow. So where when you blend this down through here, it looks like a shadow. This looks like a shadow. It doesn't look like beard coming through. It doesn't look like if you're going on stage, like I'll show you. I went to go on stage. And you can see where that rounds that off, like just takes that whole jawline, if I could see. It takes that whole jawline away and you go under and your hair's going to cover part of that. But I wouldn't do that in the daytime. It's usually the rule of thumb, you go underneath your jawline and you create that shadow. If you have a square jaw and don't really want that, you could kind of contour a little bit of this back here and then powder a little and put over your head. Now cream, this is all done with powder. Cream foundation, it's really good if you have a lot of lines or wrinkles or something. The kids are all doing it. This is an old-fashioned way that we used to do in television. So you do all your contouring with a stick, like a cream stick, or a tub that you dip into that is cream, and you draw your lines and you blend it. To me, that takes more work than the powder. After you do your contour, then you go back and you powder over it. So I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, I see someone with a question. Funny, What pictures did you send? Did you mean the little good morning pictures? Um, anyway, I'm assuming that's what you mean. Otherwise, I have to go back and look. Oh, hi, Eric. It's nice to see you, Eric. We're just talking about contour, and I'm going to run through this again. Okay, yeah, I always like those. I love getting those pictures in the morning and stuff. It kind of makes my day. So I have a little bit of shadow going on here. I'm sorry about the lighting. Let me try to refix this a little bit. I have a lot of sunlight coming in. This is all live, so I don't mean to make it. How to reconnect. It went off. I'm sorry about that. So I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't mean this to come across so amateurish. It's just I have bright light that comes in here, and usually it's great, but it's kind of overcast right now. So as we were talking about contouring, let me see. It's always sunny in Vegas. So cream contour is in a stick or in a little tub, and it's a cream. It looks like a foundation almost, and you literally paint your face with it. And you can't change your makeup around. Like me, I like to change my makeup around. It does come across a little more theatrical with that because people get a little more heavy-handed with it as a rule from what I've seen. I see some great video of people doing this stuff, but they have all the really bright lights, and I'm trying to bring something a little more realistic to you where it's not so hard looking. The powder foundation, if you have a lot of lines, it's not necessarily great for you, but I do find it is easier in the long run. So you're going to do, like, take a straight edge of some sort, do it this way, and draw your line, and then you're going to blend. You can powder underneath it. You're going to highlight. Then with your nose, it should be even. This is a little bit better lighting, so I contoured that down. So let's go back and do this. Let's hold this up. So I don't know if you can see that or not. See that? And you can see where the line goes straight down. I naturally have a little bubble in my nose. And then you can go underneath to shorten your nose. There's just so many different ways you can do that. Oh, damn it. Try to get my... It falls off. It's been one of those mornings. So forgive me. There. That's a little better. I was trying to see what you all were saying and dropped my phone. I'm not sure what you mean, Sam Wallace, minus the freaking chemtrails. I don't know what you mean by that. So anyway, and as I said, if you want to contour your forehead, and you're not wearing bangs in your hair, your wig, this works to help with the hairline. It also works with lowering your forehead and rounding off your forehead, because men, if you're born male, I don't care how you're identifying or what you say or the work you've had done, males always have flat foreheads. Females are usually more rounded in the forehead. If you wear your hair back, a lot of times, unless you're really super young, and even then, it's very harsh looking. And if you get up close and you have all that contour going around here, it just doesn't look right. If you look at Lady Gaga, when she wears her hair off of her, she contours really heavy through there, but the stage lighting takes a lot of that away. So you just go through, and I know any drag queens that are going to watch this are thinking this isn't enough makeup. I have a friend out there, I'll just call her out, her name's Natalie, and she paints like a brick with her cheeks and her contour, and it looks great from 50 feet away, but it's not pretty up close. And I tell her that all the time. It's like you need to blend that more, powder it. It can still be there, but you need to blend and powder it more. So you just go down. You can make your forehead as short as you want, as long as you want. I have like a longer forehead and a shorter chin. Um, it's just odd the way it's shaped. It's Reba McEntire's the same way. That's why she wears bangs and stuff all the time. And then you're going to highlight in here. You're going to contour that right through there. And then if you feel like it's too dark, once again, go back and powder. And you can tell I went to parochial school because it's repetition, repetition. Okay, so the way one compensates, gosh, I spilled crap all over me. I didn't even know that. The way you do that is during the day, and once again, it goes by, are you wearing a wig? What's your skin tone like? You know, I love what Dolly Parton says. She says she paints one way and she's happy with it, and that's the way she does it. And so in the day, it's going to be not as much, and then at night, you're going to darken it up and make it darker, keeping in mind a wig tones everything down. If you paint all, repetition again, if you do your makeup all in earth tones, meaning browns and beiges, you're going to look a little older. So during the day, you might not want as bold as a lipstick. You might not want your cheeks as pink, maybe a softer pink. You want to highlight a little more during the daytime. So you can do that with 2 different foundations, a little bit lighter, and then one that's your skin tone. And then you blend that together underneath. There is a wonderful, wonderful product out by, believe it or not, called Wet n Wild, and I mentioned it a few weeks ago, and it looks like clown white, but it's very thin. And before you powder, you get it on, you're going to go, and I did this, like on this side of my cheek, you can see where I did that. And this side, you can see the contour a little more. And once again, some of this has to do with lighting, so it doesn't look as heavy as what it is because I have low lighting right now. But yeah, I have a lot of bags. I'm old. So I highlight through with that. And because I have a lot of cheek through here that a lot of guys don't always have, they're kind of flat through here, I don't always contour during the day. I just highlight. And highlighting is so important because it's going to lighten this area a little bit. It's going to bring more focus on your eyes. So it's an important step to do. And this product I'm talking about is by Wet n Wild, and it looks like clown white, but it's not. And it's extremely thin. And you put it on after you do your foundation, or if you do a concealer. Not everyone wears a concealer. I don't wear a concealer. I just do a little foundation up to here, and then I do this Wet n Wild through there. And I just found it a few weeks ago, and I like it. So it's not heavy. And I'm lazy. I put my makeup on about 7 o'clock every morning, and then I don't touch up with it. I just go unless I have someplace really important to go. And then I'll touch up, like if I'm going to the hotel to do makeup or something like that. I love makeup. I love color. Color can be your best friend, especially over the age of 30. So you can use color to contour with, like a burgundy, a purple, and get like your 2-for-1 type thing right there. See what else you say. Hi, Tom. It's nice to see you. So once again, at night, it's going to be darker, and during the day, it's going to be a little lighter. For a female, I always paint my eyes way darker than, because I go in and I contour. I have little bitty eyes, and I wear lashes every day too. And I like to strip lashes because they make all of this stuff for females. So why can't we wear it? It's the way I kind of look at everything. And I need to go have some facial work done, but I'm at the age and at that point right now that there's more important things in my life than just looks. So I don't know if you, I don't know what you mean, George. You said, will you something help you. Yeah, and I do one-on-one makeup classes, and I'm offering specials on those right now. I have what they call CD training, and that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun, and I have several different levels of that. And so I have fuller lips. I have a small upper lip and a big bottom lip, kind of like Liza. And when you see me in person, my lips look a lot bigger than they do here. But a lot of times during the day, I just do like a gloss on them. Now, stay away from chapstick or Carmex because those are designed to dry your lips out. At night, especially if I'm going somewhere, I'll line my lips and I'll do like a color on them. As a rule, I don't like red. I think red looks okay on me, but I lean more to the mauves and pink families. I will, George, and if you check out my website or call me directly, you can set up an appointment with me. I would love to help you. But anyway, so I know sometimes I may be hard to follow, or the way I'm trying to do this is all like realistic and raw. I probably should set up more professional lighting for all of you to see a little better. But so many of the influencers out there, everything's so fake with them, with the lighting, with everything, and it's not actually live. It's pre-recorded a lot of times, so they go in and edit, and I'm trying to show you, you know, how it actually really looks. Because if you see some of them, it's like the makeup is so thick and so much. It's crazy. And then a lot of them, they're younger, so everything's going to look really great on them too. So I'm trying to help you out here in subtle little ways. So I showed you how to do that, showed you how to contour all of that. Keep in mind a wig tones everything down. Lashes, I tell everyone, it's kind of like Bugs Bunny. He wasn't a girl until he got lashes on. So, lashes are extremely important. They don't have to be huge. I have very deep set eyes, but I play them up too. So if you see these are a small lash. And then I did a white underneath and then a dark brown today. I was in a hurry. And my liner on top is actually dark brown. And then I did black lashes and black mascara. So grab a celebrity's picture, especially if you're wanting to come in and see me. But look at that picture. Now, 9 out of 10 times that's going to be photoshopped up like you wouldn't believe. But look at the pictures and look at where the placement is. Is your bone structure like them? That's what we did in the old days. I look kind of like everyone without looking like anyone. So I would take pictures of like Marilyn and other people I liked, and then people I kind of looked like, and kind of combined it together. And then I would sit before my makeup mirror and I would practice my eyes, I would practice my lips and I would take pictures. Everyone wants everything kind of instant nowadays. So it's not quite done that way. You need to understand where everything goes, and then you need to practice. That's the most important thing. Let's see. Yes, there are many. I'm glad you brought that up, Eric. And it's not just Asian stuff. There are many products, and I use them. Lifting creams. Now, collagen, speaking from an esthetician standpoint, collagen is actually a little too thick to penetrate your skin. But there are some really high-end techniques that you can do to do a lot, but not everyone can afford those. And I'm one of them. I can't necessarily afford all of that. And I would love to. I'd love to meet a guy that goes, oh, baby, let's overhaul you and make you, look way, way younger again. And, but at the same time, I'm trying to age gracefully, because I'm a lot older than most people. I thought the 50s were hard, but once you hit your 60s, it gets a little depressing sometimes. But I use a lifting and hydrating cream. I use a serum, and then I use a hydrating cream underneath my eyes that smooths everything out. So I'm gonna zoom in. You see this big line? I've always had this my whole life. When I don't get a lot of sleep, it gets deeper. You can only cover that up to a degree. it's still going to be there. But you can soften it, and that's what I've done is kind of soften that a little. The thing that bugs me is I had some pixel lasering done a few years ago, and I had like a line about like this, but then the line comes all the way down like that, and that was after I had some stuff done, and I'm like, no, I'm not ever doing that again. What did someone just say? Well, that's good, Michelle, but you've also had a facelift. I'm calling you out on that. I haven't had any of that yet. So you and I aren't that far apart in age. And skincare is everything. And facelifts, they're amazing. I'm not against them. I would love to have one. And when you go to get one, you don't just want to get your eyes done or your lower. You want it all done. Because if you don't, in a few years, and this is from working with a plastic surgeon, being their esthetician, what happens is that if you have jowls and you want that done, you're going to want it all done because this helps pulling this up, helps pulling all of this up to where if you just do this, this is going to drop at some point. And I've had dental work done, so I'm starting to see like a few little jowls through here I don't like. So there's some methods you can use. There's a sonic machine, and there's also an old-fashioned jade roller. And when you put your creams and stuff on, going up motion. I've done that for many, many, many years. And I look so different depending on the styles of makeup and stuff I do on myself. Well, you're very sweet, Eric. Thank you very much. But it doesn't get easier as we get older. It's a hard fight. So if you go like on my website, and I think I even have some stuff here on YouTube, you can see me as Reba, really painted up for my shows. I look so different than what I do day to day. And sometimes that freaks a lot of guys out. Some of them want you that look all the time, but I mean, I don't want to go to Walmart with a stage face on. That's just me, any more than I would want to go to Walmart wearing a pair of high heels, because the average female's not wearing any of that anymore unless they dress up to go somewhere. Let's see. But anyway, those creams, all of that works in conjunction along with your makeup. And I've done that for years and years and years. And I think I'm aging okay. There's things I would like to do, but it's like Cher says, aging sucks and F wisdom and all of that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to go through this little bit with you so you can understand it. As I said, I didn't do this side. I didn't do this side that heavy, but I'm going to zoom in and see if you can see it. You might be able to see the color and all of that. I do it really super light. I don't wear a heavy foundation anyway. I have rosacea, but it's getting better because I have kidney issues. So the diet that I'm on, not only am I losing weight, which is making my face kind of go, oh, but I'm feeling a lot better and my skin's looking better. It's not like it was. And I'm very, very happy about that. And sometimes I'll use a primer. And like if I'm going on set to work and I'm in makeup all day out in the sun, I will, of course, I wear sunblock every day, but I'll use a primer and I wear glasses, big sunglasses and stuff. I've done that all over the years. But working around your eyes with all the creams, highlighting, that does everything. So look at celebrities, look at the way they do, even though they may be photoshopped, you can still see where the placement goes. And color is your best friend at a certain age, over 30 SA, over 40. Let's see what someone else just said. Well, thank you, Eric. And the problem is I still like those young guys. Oh, it's horrible. It really is horrible. It's like I went on a date the other night with a guy, and he was so good looking. He could have been my grandson. And he said he liked older women, but then when he actually found out my age, he's like, oh, no, you're too old for me. And I was just like, oh. And I don't know. I mean, I can't ever find a guy my age, and I've always liked a little bit younger, not way younger, but a little bit younger. But it seems like the 20-something-year-olds are really into all of the granny stuff right now, and I kind of like it, Anyway, what else Oh, you retracted the answer. You didn't have to retract a message. You can say anything you want here. This is raw, it's live, and I will answer. I mean, you're not going to insult me, even if you do an insulting thing. I don't take it that way. Um, I'm one of the transgender people in the world that, and Michelle, I believe, I think I can say this out loud, but she's a little conservative too. I'm middle of the road, very conservative for the most part. I have my moments and I can cuss a sailor out, and I love doing that on stage. But my real life, that's a little different. It's very, kind of actually very boring, very much the housewife, even though I'm not married, you know. Um, I say I'm an artist. I just say I'm creative. I have an art background and everything. Vegas is an interesting city to live in. And being a senior transgender, whatever you want to call it. Yes, real trans. I had to throw that out there. Sorry. It's interesting, especially with the dating, because everything is based on looks and sex instead of kind of getting to know each other. And to a degree, I understand that, and to another degree, it's very frustrating. So my thing is, a lot of the people calling themselves trans today, or identifying with it, however it is, I feel like a lot of them, and that's why I'm here doing this. The reason they don't fix themselves up or dress properly is because no one's taught them. No one has put that across to them. It's like my mother said. Some of them want to be a slut. It's like my mother used to tell my sister and my nieces and all of that, don't wear those mini skirts. It just makes you look cheap. Well, you know, she kind of changed with that depending on, you know, how short the mini skirt was and the top you were wearing and the shoes and all of that. But she was right. As I got older, I understood that. And there's a negative attention and positive attention. And a lot of people don't understand. They just understand attention. And you want positive attention. And you want someone, yeah, you want them to find you desirable. And yeah, you have your slut moments and all of that. But you want that respect. And if someone doesn't give that to you, then don't have them in your life, is the way I look at it. And if some stranger is like that, you might look in the mirror and say, okay, is it just something they're being mean about? Or is it something the way I actually look or act or something like that? So I think that's extremely important. Let's see. Oh, I know about all the kidney issues. I have changed my diet. I changed my diet for diabetes as soon as I found out about the diabetes. And the diet is so strict that I'm on right now. I see my doctor in April. So I'm excited about that, because I'm feeling a lot better. I, I've lost a little bit more weight. I'd gotten really fat a few years ago. And I'm never with the trend with everything. When fat's in, I'm thin. When I'm thin, when I'm fat, it's thin is in. But as you get older, it's like my mother always said, you know, your health is everything. And right now, everything's very under control. I'm in the process of trying to get rid of it. That's why I'm on such a strict diet. It's so difficult. Like, I don't really eat out anymore. The couple of times I got sick off of it because the oils they were cooking in. So I did a major course on what I can and can't eat, and I didn't have a great doctor to explain a lot of stuff to me. So over the past couple of years, I've had to dive deep into this and learn everything on my own. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm getting much better sleep now than I was. And of course, I stress. We all have stress. We all have stress over money. We all have stress over work. We all have stress over life, and I'm no different than anyone else. But I've I've gotten my life back under control because the majority of my life I was pretty thin, and I had a lot of body work done at one time, like with silicone and stuff. I had that taken out. And not my face, but my body. And I had implants, but then had like hips and ass and all of that through silicone. I don't ever suggest that. That's so dangerous. And I ran into some major problems with that. So I'm just kind of here trying to help, give a little bit of my experience. I'm nowhere near perfect, don't claim to be. I try to stay middle of the road with everything. There's some things I just absolutely don't understand. I had a video last week or the week before, and it was talking about what I don't understand, what I don't want to, and I don't want to understand it, and I don't want to be associated with that or part of it. And I know that I probably sounded crazy and all of that, but it's the truth. I come from a different generation, but that doesn't mean that human nature is not all the same. Nothing's changed in 2 or 3 thousand years of history. Humans are still humans. We're still greedy. We still covet. We you know, still have sexual feelings. We still have hurt feelings. People still lie. People have way too much ambition on certain things. And that's just part of being human and learning how to deal with all of that. And my first love is makeup and being able to look way different. When I want to look way different. I don't know if I really want a complete overhaul facial wise on me. I don't like being older. I mean, I don't know any older person that really does. And things seem to get, look wise, it gets more complicated, harder, because in the trans world, it's sad to say, so much stuff is superficial. And there's just to a point. I mean, if you don't want to get plastic surgery, don't do it. Learn how to do it with makeup. Learn how to take care of your skin. And that's what I'm here to share. Not to get caught up in all of the transgender ideology, meaning that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to look a certain way. The goal is to look feminine, or at least that was my generation. The goal was to be happy with yourself. So that's what I try to do here, is to help people be happy. Oh, thank you, Clorox, for saying that I'm disgusting human. So, freak, thank you. Thank you for all of that. And much love to you. Oh, I do disregard them because what that means, and I don't censor any of this out because everyone has their opinion, and it goes to show me one, how uneducated they are, two, how unhappy they are with their life to be able to do that. I don't understand nor want to understand the non-binary, but I think they have a right, but I don't think they should be in the transgender world, meaning that put themselves in the same place as what transsexuals and cross-dressers and all of that. Sometimes it's a stepping stone for them. But a lot of people assume that we're all one way when we're not. I've always kind of had my life together. I have a master's in fine art. I was in a seminary for a long time, studied to be a priest, and I have my life pretty well together. I come from a good home. I understand who and what I am and what I will never be, but I can come as close to it as possible so my life can be happy. So that's really good. So let me see. Anyway, thank you, George. I am from the age that I liked men who were very masculine. I see gay men out there that I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish they were into like girls like me. And now I know what my female friends feel like when they see some of these really attractive gay men. And I realized that a lot of things in life, one thing I do kind of agree with when it comes to the non-binary stuff, is that you kind of have to put aside looks and know the inside of the person. And I do agree with that and what they're saying. But part of the attraction, instead of just knowing them, part of it is a physical attraction. And I understand for a lot of guys out there, they wouldn't find me attractive or want anything to do with me because of the sexual organs I have. Even if I went and had the full bottom surgery done and stuff, there would still be people that wouldn't want anything, but that's fine. And I don't think the whole world should be attracted to you. Let me. Okay. Anyway, so it's just too much. He's just going on too much. The Clorox bleach, calling weirdos. I guess he has nothing better in his life to do, but I just reported him. I'm pretty open to everyone, but he just wouldn't stop. So that's why I did that. Anyway, let me see if I can remove him even. I'm just removing his stuff he has to say. Wow. Anyway, he has a lot of hate in him. Anyway, where was I? So there's a lot of things I don't understand, and I don't necessarily want to understand. So I don't believe that you should necessarily demolish someone or any of that. But with the non-binary, I think they need to have their own group. It's kind of like the transgender sports, with the trans people, with the females. I think to make it fair, I think the transgender people need to have their own category, just like male and female does. And I think that's a nice way to do it, and still everyone has a place with everything, or just make it to where everyone can compete with everyone. But the world has changed. And I like to think that it's changed for the better, and makeup is one way that it can really change. What did someone was just commenting me? Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've gone on a little longer than I wanted. I'm sorry about a few of the problems I've had here. I promise the lighting will be better next week, and we're going to do more makeup next week, and I'm going to set up better lighting for that, because I'm setting up my desk right here with the sun coming in, and I tried to set up a little light to kind of balance out the light, but it didn't help that much. And I'm like this on you. Anyway, so you can see everything up close. And this isn't a great contour, but I just showed you where everything went. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, George, and I look forward to hearing from you, and you too, Eric. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me anytime. Thank y'all, and y'all have a nice day, okay?